Hello friends, you're with the Lonesome Gamer and I'm still playing 18 EU. Now, we have the first major companies on the market, and actually only two are left, the Reichsbahn and the Nederlandse Spoorwegen. All the others are operating. And the first 5 train has been purchased, which means after this next operating round, so at the end of the set of the operating rounds, there will be a final exchange round where the miners that have not been exchanged yet eventually will be mandatory be exchanged. Okay, so still a couple of miners are operating. We're starting with number 1, which is sitting here, and people would love to make some connections during this last operating round, because only if you're connected with a major company you can exchange the miner for a share of that major. The problem is that basically every player who still holds miners will probably lose one of them to another major company, and it is not going to be possible to make these connections in time. Over here the one will not connect to the poison. There is simply no way. I checked a couple of things. It's basically one tile action that's missing here. The owner of the French company, he has a massive problem. Neither the 3 nor the 12 will connect. So yeah, that really sucks. He probably will not get any additional company here. And yeah, this player here too, he will lose the company number 2, which is up here. That will probably go to the Prussian instead of the Austrian, which would have been his hope. Yeah, but there also here there's just basically a single action missing. So the miners all operated. The FS did too. They upgraded Vienna and then ran here from Budapest via Vienna to, I don't know what that is, Milan, I guess. And they paid out 22, and then they bought themselves a 5 train. They have a train discount, so it was only 450. And yeah, that's pretty much what happened. Their plan is here to make a connection to Bucharest at some point, do an upgrade here, and place a token here, and then they can run from Bucharest to Rome, also making a here, and that would then give them a good amount of money. It's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So because they have the longer train, they could do that with a 5 train. That's pretty cool. So the Belgians also, they did an upgrade here. This was their extra town upgrade. And then that allowed them to run the train like this, which gave them 210. So 105 into the company. Then they used their the additional capital from the miner, and that allowed them then to buy the last 5 train. So they're sitting now on a 3 and a 5 train. I doubt that the 3 train will run, because I'm not sure about that, but I could imagine that a couple of that the last, or at least one of these last majors will be started, probably at a high price, and then I guess that, well, they will buy a 6 train probably, and then, yeah, obviously the 3 trains will rust. Okay, so next it's the Austrians, and they don't have the money to bust through here, which would have been also nice for them, but they can't do that. So they're going to run their 4 train probably down here to Venice, maybe upgrading something in between, maybe that one here. Great, we go now at the end of the operating round, we go into the final exchange round. And now, starting with the player who bought the 5 train, the first 5 train, which is, if I remember that right, the Bavarian. Every player exchanges one of its minor companies with a share of a connected major company. So he doesn't have a minor company anymore, so for him, this is all gone. This guy now, yeah, that's the thing. Okay, he's got the 3, and the 3 will be exchanged with the B. There is no doubt the 12 will be exchanged with the Prussian. Technically that could change. For example, if the owner of the 6 decides to give the 6 to the to the Bavarian, then after that exchange he could choose to give it to the Bavarian, because there would be then a connection. And some people might have that idea. For example, exactly in this case, the 6 only sits on $70. So if he exchanges that for one of his own shares, the shares are worth by now $90. Okay, granted, there's a 3 train in here, but we already said that I doubt the 3 trains will run anymore. So therefore, maybe it's actually not the best idea for the Prussian player to exchange that for one of his valuable shares, because in the end the company will have less money, and maybe it would be more clever to give the 6 to the Bavarian, for example. Anyways, here there is no choice. The 3 will go to the player, to the Belgium, and the Belgium is a very good company, so therefore I think that is a good deal for everyone. I mean, he would have obviously preferred to bring it to one of his own companies, but he gets a share in return. And the company gets this important token here. Okay, sweet. So over here, there's the 2 and the 15. So we're definitely going to give the 15 to our own company, the Austrian. We have the permanent 2 train, which is awesome. And well, we can put that one away. And we get an additional share for that. And because until now I only held 50%, I now hold 60, so I'm not forced to sell a share and damage my value. That's also a neat advantage. that's pretty cool. There are 200 bucks in there and 4 shares. Seems like a solid company. And the permanent 2 is great. So now here, I got the 1 and the 6. I want to wait with the 6. Maybe I will actually give the 6 to the Bavarian. But before I do that, I want to force him to give me the 12 because I want the money. There are 165 bucks in there. So that's a lot of money, and it's definitely more worth than one of my shares. So before he comes up with the idea, hey, I can, if I give this now to the Bavarian, then he could exchange it with him too. So that's not what I'm going to do. First I'm going to give away my 1. And you know, it's not the best company actually. It has no special ability. It's only worth 80 bucks. So I think I'm also going to exchange it with a share of the Belgium. The Belgium is great. And in this case, it's actually not a bad deal, I think. So the Belgium gets another 3 train, but okay, fine. And it's this one here. Now the company is not forced to take that token, by the way. Not during this final exchange round, but it's a good token and it opens them the way here to the east, eventually to Vienna. That's a great token. I realize the train limit is already only 2, so that means the 3 train goes into the bank pool. And now, oh, that one also goes away into the bank pool. So then it is, again, this guy here with the 12, and he now has to exchange it for a share of the Prussian. There you go. Oh, and yeah. And this is a train limit increase, which is, well, I mean, it might be interesting because you can own 2 trains and a Pullman. You're not going to own 3 permanent trains. I think that is very unlikely. But in case you manage to somehow get 2 trains, you will also have a Pullman, and that is pretty cool. But I don't really think I can get the 2 trains. I'm sitting here on a 4 alone, and I think it is extremely unlikely. So in this case, I don't get an extra token here. Here it's different because there would have been possible, but not in Berlin. Okay. So then the last company is this one here, the 2, and it also gets exchanged with a share of the Prussian. And I get the 3 train, and that is a higher port revenue. It's also not that interesting anymore, I guess. That is one which is better at the start. And so yeah, that goes in here too. And now it's the interesting aspect, the 6. I'm really not sure what I want to do with it. I'm really not sure if I want to give the 6 to... If I want to give it to the Prussian, or if I want to give it to the Bavarian, for example. And the Bavarian isn't bad. Holding a share of these guys might be a good idea. And as I said, it's not a great company. It sits, It only has 50, 60, 70 bucks in it. So I lose money. A bit, I mean, I will actually make money. I get the more valuable share if I buy it, if I take a share of the Prussian. But yeah, less money will be in the company than I would get out of a share. So maybe that's not such a great idea. Seriously, I don't have a feeling that this token is so terribly valuable for the Prussian. I can make my way here, maybe bring a token somehow in here if I'm a little lucky. But that's not easy. That's gonna be tough to get a token to Brussels. The thing is, the company here gives me also an extra track upgrade. Is that valuable for me? You know, actually I think I want that token. It's a single share. It's a little painful, but I think I want to do it. I think I want that token there because I have an extra yellow tile here. So I can lay this here, then lay a city here, and then make a quick connection to Brussels and bring a token in there. And Brussels is so valuable because it will then allow me to go through Paris to London, and that is just, yeah, that is an amazingly valuable option. I definitely want that. So therefore, yeah, I think, I mean, I don't have to take the token, but it's okay, I guess. So there we go. And by the way, I will also get this one here. And I think I'm gonna take it. Why not? Yeah, although, I mean, that is actually pretty questionable. Do I really want that? Possibly not. No, I don't think I want that. This is a shitty token. I'm not gonna take that. Okay, so there we go. Okay, we go into the stock round, and by the way, the exchange round didn't change anything about priority. So the priority is still with this guy, and that gives him the chance to start one of these two remaining companies, and he's gonna do that. I mean, he's got 350 bucks. So if he sells one, maybe two shares, he can start it at 1,000. And I think that's what he wants to do. So, is it? I'm not so sure about that. Okay, here's the thing. It's a full cap game. So, I'm gonna end up with a 6 train. Gotta pay 100. So I got 300 bucks left then. Now the idea is there a way to get a second train in the company? So do I need these 300 bucks or not? That's what this whole thinking is about. Otherwise I could start it simply lower by a couple of additional shares. However, what is the share limit, by the way? It's 13. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Actually, I might as well start it at 100. Because I nearly go to the share limit. Maybe not quite, but it's going to be very close. So let's see, if I sell the FS share, maybe. It's a good share, but yeah, it's a very good share. But maybe then I can afford two. Not quite. So yeah, I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to keep the B, and I'm going to keep the 50% of my own company, and I'm going to sell a share of the FS, which is painful. I mean, both of these shares are pretty good. These are now kind of established companies. They have them on quite a number of tokens. But still, you know, I want to start my own company, a second one, and I want to start it high. If I start it high, first of all, I have a lot of capital, and second of all, and that will allow me eventually, you know, I might not be able maybe to buy two permanent trains with that capital in my new company. But I might be able to buy 3 trains overall for my 2 companies and maybe an additional Pullman. And I got a free Pullman here anyways. So, I mean, that would be really, really cool. If I could get, I think that is a good goal. If you can get 3 trains, if you control 2 companies and you have 3 permanent trains, I think you're good then. You don't necessarily need in every company 2 trains. I mean, that would be perfect. But sometimes trying to figure out how that works just takes you too much time and you lose too much runs or you have to swallow too often, whatever. Of course, everybody loves to have 2 permanents, but it's going to be hard sometimes. So I sold these 2 shares. That gives me 122 and 90. So it gives me, no, that's not true. It was a share of the Prussian. So yeah, but it's still 90. Okay. So that's 212 then. And we can start now a company, and now it works just like 1830. You buy the presidency, and when you have, I mean, in this case it's 5 shares, the company will float. So we need $500 to start the company at 100. We do have that money. We start the Nederlandse Spoorwegen. Do we? That's the question. Do we really want to do that? Okay, so here's the thing. My first idea was to start in Brussels, because starting in Brussels is great. However, that's a tricky thing. I also would love to get a token of the French company to Brussels. So I kind of block myself that I do that. The question are, what are the odds that I get the token there? And I don't think that's going to happen. Well, I don't know. It depends it all depends when the Prussian operates. But on the other hand, there might be another company get started by somebody else. For example, this guy here is also sitting on close to $500. So I'm pretty sure he's also going to start a company. And yeah, I mean, it's very likely that definitely he will start a company. And if I don't start it at Brussels, he will. So, you know, I think I have to start that company in Brussels. The token is placed immediately. It's a little bit of a shame. And yes, I know that Brussels is not the Netherlands, but, you know, from a geographical point of view, it's as close as it gets. I don't know. I mean, on the other hand, if you think about it, I don't know. It's interesting. Brussels might be closer to Germany than it is to the Netherlands. I don't know about that, to be honest. I'm not sure. I mean, Cologne is right next to it. So starting the Reichsbahn might be also an option. But I think I'm fine. I think I'd take these guys. Makes more sense. I don't think someone else will start a company up there. So therefore. Okay, cool. We start this. We paid the money. We take the shares. And the shares stay there. They don't go into the company treasury. We wait until 50% are purchased. Then the company receives 10 times the starting value and all the shares go into the bank pool. All the remaining shares, of course. So here's the big decision for this guy, and yeah, it's one of these decisions in these games. I really love them because it's this thing, okay? It's this decision now, and it will completely influence the game, and it's so fucking important. Do I want to start a new company or not? I mean, if I don't, someone else will. There's one company left, and I'm gonna have to sell probably all their shares I can reasonably sell, which means I gotta have to sell one Prussian, one Austrian, and then I end up with a little more than 800 bucks in my hand. Does that make sense? No, it doesn't. No, that is not true. I end up with a little more than 400 bucks, which means I could start a company at 82, I guess. That is what I can do. Okay, I mean, 82 isn't great. 82 means I can spend I can buy a single 6 train. I got to spend 100 bucks on tokens, and then maybe a Pullman. That's it. And I mean, there is not enough money in there so that I can somehow shift around or something and try to help these guys. I think the best I can get if I start a company is now that it's a company that can take care for itself. Right? I don't have to help it or something, but it's not going to be able to help my already existing company. Okay, what does that mean? Well, if I have to sell a share of these guys, that means I kind of trash the shares of this company. So in a way, it hurts these guys. I could, of course. The good thing about all this is I have a double share, the presidency, so I have possibly in the end simply one more share than others do. And I have an additional tile action because I control one more company. So yeah, these are the advantages. It's hard to tell, it really is. Okay, let's see what is going on the map. I mean, what options are there? What can I do? Starting in Berlin? I think the best I can get out of Berlin is a run from Warsaw to possibly London over Antwerp here. Avoiding this one. Now if I fiddle around here, maybe at some point I can make it through Paris. That would be good, right? But that is everything but a safe bet. Someone else might get there first and then it's over. And it's very likely, you know, the Netherlandish, this matcha P here, they can lay their token in Paris and then it's blocked. So I better don't count on that. So therefore, it would be something like 1, 2, 3, 4. Wow, that sounds pretty poor. That might be improved by going via Hamburg or something. Yeah, okay, that's possible. But it's still not the greatest idea. The other option would be to start a company in Vienna, but that is also a little questionable. I don't terribly like owning 2 companies in the same city. My experience is that they tend to block themselves. You know, I mean, you lay a token with one company and then that also kind of blocks the spot for the other company. So I don't think that is the best idea too, either. It's really hard to tell. Maybe starting in Paris could be an option. That might be an interesting choice. Maybe even going here and trying to then make your way out here. You know, you can do that with 2 tile placements, I guess. And so in the first round, you don't have a train anyways, you can build up. And then in the second round, you can try to... I mean, that is not bad. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and maybe getting Hamburg. So that could be an option. Maybe starting in Paris is not a bad idea. There's of course always a risk that then Berlin will get blocked. There are these 2 guys too. Now if they go, they might be the first to go that route here, and they probably will lay a token in Berlin, and then that is blocked too. So it's really hard to tell if it's such a great idea to start a company here. I'm a pretty aggressive player. I mean, not me, but the personality of this guy. So I'm gonna roll a die, and I think on a 1, 2, you know, I really tend to not to do it, honestly. I think on a 1 to 3, I'm gonna start a new company. Okay, that's a 4, so I'm not gonna do it. Instead, there are tons of good shares out there, and I'm just gonna invest in them. And for example, a share of the Belgium company, which is great. I think I'm gonna buy out of the treasury for 90 bucks. So this player here who controls the Prussian, for him it's a little different, because he's got 100 additional bucks compared to this player. So if he sells 2 shares, he's gonna be able to start a company for 100. And then maybe if these 2 work together somehow, they might be able to somehow get themselves 3 trains. It's not easy, but maybe there's a way to do it somehow then. You know, if one of them swallows and then you kind of sell around a little bit, or there might be a way to get a 3rd train, which can be pretty valuable. The question is a little bit, where do we want to do it? And again, it's the same issues as before, but I'm considering starting in Paris, because if I time it right, if I work together with the Prussian, I might be able to time this in a way that I can secure that I can get a token in Berlin as well. It's not easy to, I kind of have to make that connection here in a clever way. And of course, first I got to build through here and then make that connection. But maybe if I, as I said, if I manage to do that in a clever way, I might be able to get that done. Of course, he's going to try the same. But the thing is, I might have the option to go between the 2. Maybe we can even come to an agreement. But, I don't really think so. However, there is one big risk, and I just realized that, and that kind of closes that spot. I think I cannot go with that. The Machapi guys, these guys here, they're gonna go before me, and if they upgrade this one just like that, I'm in a ton of trouble, right? Because then I have to kind of break through like this, and that's not gonna work out. So I don't think I want to do that. So therefore, do I want to start somewhere else? Maybe, I gotta figure that out. This is a tough decision now. I mean, there's obviously a decision to also start in Berlin, but the other option would be Vienna. It's an interesting one. What about Frankfurt? Maybe it's not so bad to start there. You know, it's kind of in the center of the map. hard choices here. Oh, wait a minute. I think that is not going to be possible, because this thing would go off board. That's interesting. So let me see. Is there anything how you can really screw me up? I mean, that one would cost me also an additional tile lay, right? If I lay my first token here trying to go up this way, then you can lay this. And yeah, but I think he cannot really close me down. So in the end, you know what? I think I'm going to go with that spot. It's interesting. On a 1 to 5, I'm going to give that a go. Okay, there we go. And it's this guy. We're going to sell 2 shares, the Belgium and the Prussian. And that is, of course, a small disadvantage. We kind of trash our own shares here. So we managed to bring this down to 75 now, which is not great. But okay. And we're getting 82 and 90, so that's 172. Okay, we start the Deutsche Reichsbahn and we started in Paris. I don't know if we make ourselves a lot of friends with that, but yeah, that's... So, there you go. Okay, great. And oops. So, and this is it. All the companies are now started. And well, all the other players can do now is somehow to invest. This guy has to sell a share of the FS because he holds 70%, which is not illegal anymore, so he's got to sell down at that point. And that gives him 110. Share value doesn't drop, so that's not too bad. And now he's going to invest in some other stuff. Right now my favorites would be probably this one here. The Belgian is very good. In some way, actually, the French guys also seem not too bad. Although, I don't know. I mean, they did a good run last time with their Pullman and all. But maybe it's going to be hard for them to spread out. So, the Prussian seems promising. It really does. That seems to be a good one too. So, yeah. And of course my own, but I cannot invest in that anymore. So we're at the end of the stock round, and the 2 new companies have floated. I just realized, I mean, he's totally German, right? He's got the Reichsbahn and the Preußische. He only controls the Italian, but he has a ton of shares compared to the other players. He has, I think, 12 shares overall, 11 certificates. He took some risks. I mean, he's with 20% in the Belgian. Excuse me. I don't think this is a big risk because that is no risk at all. Yes, he has 2 companies. He technically could somehow drop them, or one of them. But, you know, he's got 2 trains. And he's got enough money to buy a 3rd train. So, and there's still 5 shares in there. I mean, these are healthy companies, both of them. And it doesn't make any sense. The worst thing you could do is probably in the end drop a company on him without a train, but with a ton of money, or with a single train without money. But I think he's going to be fine. So there is no risk here. The Prussian is a little bit more risky. He's in there with 40%, which is a ton. But, they don't have a permanent train yet, right? I mean, that player holds 2 companies and not a single permanent train. But on the other hand, he holds there's 900 bucks in here, and there is there's close to 700 bucks in here. By the way, the shares here, they should be in the bank pool. Okay, so I mean, what's going to happen here, right? He's definitely not going to dump the Prussian, I think, because it has a better map position. I don't think that is very realistic. In addition to that, and I also forgot that, the Reichsbahn will always operate before the Prussian. Well, okay, I mean, that could be technically possible. So he could technically buy the train off the Reichsbahn into the Prussian and then dump the Reichsbahn on me. But yeah, that's the thing. I don't have shares of the Reichsbahn. He cannot dump the Prussian because the Prussian operates after the Reichsbahn. So I don't think this is going to happen, right? I'm pretty sure he's going to... I'm safe here. It's a very small risk that I'm taking here. Okay, and apart from that, the Spoorwegen, the Netherlands Spoorwegen, also floated. And yeah, so we're ready to go into the next OR. And the Italians, they go first right now. And they are sold out. I forgot about that. Yeah, a couple of companies might be sold out. So the Italian... No, that's not true. Look at that. There are still 2 Italian shares there. So that is not the case. The Belgians are also not sold out. I think the only one which is actually sold out is the Prussian. Interesting. So, the Italians, they have a good amount of money here. So I guess for them it will be definitely possible to get a second train in there. That's pretty sure. So my first goal is to make sure that I have a connection to Bucharest. So I'm going to upgrade this tile here. Yep, somewhere like that. And I'm going to drop a token. Because for me that is very important. This city is blocked. Nobody will go to Bucharest anymore. So, except for the 2 of us. So we can go like, yeah, I can now try to do that run. Eventually I got 2 trains, which is amazing. And I'm going to make a ton of money here. It seems like I cannot run both trains to the full extent because I have the longer train. So I think the best I can do right now is to run 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I could even run a 6th city, but I can't do that. So I'm gonna do it like this, and eventually it will be better if I can break out here north, I guess. Then I will have better odds. But yeah, right now I got to do it like this, and it's gonna be good. So that's 10, 16, 17, 19, 25, 27, 31, 32, 34, 33, 36, 38, 39 bucks. That's pretty good. It's not that great. I thought it would be more, but it's still a good run. 39. So, yeah, as I said, I run for 39. The problem is here, I want to have a second train in that company because I still got a lot of money here. But it's not enough, obviously, to buy right now I'm train locked. That's the issue. And I will be train locked until someone else buys the first A train. That's my problem. I cannot decide to buy the first A train myself. Someone else has to do it. I got a train discount, so the 8 train only costs for me a little more than 700, and I'm already sitting on 427. So what I'm considering is swallowing half and maybe buying a couple of shares back, because that's what you can do at the end of your turn. You can buy shares out of the bank pool back in here. So maybe I want to do that. I'm going to swallow half. So the 39, let me see, that means, oh boy, 20 go out to the shareholders, 19 go into the company. Okay. And 20 for the shareholders. So this guy, he doesn't need that much money right now because he is close to the share limit. So he doesn't have to pay out like crazy. It's not that important. He wants a second train in there, a great second train in there, so that he can then, in the end game, he can make the big money. Okay, so let's see. He's got 6 shares, so that means he gets 120 bucks. So the question for me is now, if I want to buy shares back or not? I mean, 600. Okay, we got a lot of money in there. So the big question is, will someone else buy the 8 train in this round so that I could buy the 8 train in the next round? Because then I'm going to need the money. But if I cannot buy the 8 train in the next round, I might as well buy shares now, and then I can still sell them in the next round. You know, it's a little tricky if I do that, because that might then bring me back a little bit. It's hard to tell. Do I really want to do that? I'm clearly considering it. I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to buy back these shares. But let me first take a quick look. We got this company is going to buy a train. This company will buy a train. Okay. And this company will buy a train. Holy shit. Yeah, okay. I'm pretty sure the 8 train will fall. I think it's pretty obvious that the 8 train will fall. So 3, 4, 5, 600 bucks. Okay, I think I don't buy shares back in, because the 8 train, I'm pretty sure that the 8 train will be bought in this operating round, which means if I pay out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 625, I forgot the city value increase. I can make an increase here. So that gives me actually 20 per train that runs there. So that means I get an additional $4 per share. Forgot about that. And so I got to do that. That means I run for 43 instead. So if I then in the next turn may be able to only run my 5 train, if I swallow again half, then with the train discount, I will be able to buy an 8 train without even swallowing completely. And that would be great, because then my share value will not suffer. Okay, so for him, there's a lot of problems here. He should have issued shares before, but it is so hard to figure out what to do here. I didn't expect the 8 trains to come out so fast. I mean, they are not there yet, but it's something he should have kept in mind, especially if he planned to start a company himself. So here's the thing: I could buy now a 6 train, but then this company will be trainless. I mean, it's probably going to happen anyways. It's a shame. There's so much money in here, right? I mean, right now these are $400 that are sitting in there. And I could sell them, but I mean, first of all, that would trash my share value massively. And second of all, I can only sell them at the end of the turn, so it doesn't give me a train immediately. So I'm in quite some trouble here. I'm not sure how to get around that. If I buy the 4 train of these guys, I could do that, but then I'm going to lose basically another turn with these guys, and I'm going to lose a turn with these guys too. I mean, in the end, it would mean, okay, I had money here, but it means that I'm basically again trainless with 2 companies. So I guess in the end, I'm going to have to buy the 6 train from the bank pool, and the question is, do I want to bring the money all in here, buy the 4 train out of here, and I don't know. Maybe buy a train out of pocket. That's pretty bad. That is really all pretty bad news here. Okay, so I bought the 6 train. Now, let's see. Obviously I fall back. These guys will also buy a train. They're also going to buy the 6 train. I think that's obvious. And yeah, that's pretty obvious. They're going to buy a 6 train, and they can arrange that in a way that the Prussian has the money to buy an 8 train. That's going to be possible for them. Then it's the Belgium, and oh, by the way, the 3 trains go away now. Oh yeah, we go into a new phase here, so the 3 trains all go away. And all these here in the bank pool. So, boy, that means, yeah, not a lot. So all the 3 trains go away. Then it's, so yeah, that's the thing. This one will buy a train. So there goes the second 6 train. And then it's the Belgium. And it's tricky. It really is. Will they get another train? Maybe. Maybe if they swallow. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I don't know if they can run for $400. Possibly not. With a single 5, it's going to be very hard for them to run for $400. I mean, I don't know how they're going to how they want to do that. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't think they can, to be honest. So even if they swallow, they will not be able to get an 8 train. Okay, that's kind of interesting. So that means, what about the Austrians? No way for the Austrians to get an 8 train. But then it's the Prussian. And yeah, they can do it. If this guy buys if this guy, yeah, they have close to $700 in there. I'm pretty sure they can do it. Yeah. And then I'm next, and yeah, I'm then sitting here without a train. So I might as well buy the 4 train over. That's the thing, that's what I was thinking about. If I would have managed if I would have managed to make one more run with the 4 train, I would not buy it over. But in this way, I think it's better for me to have all the money in a single company. I'm going to leave a buck in there. I think that is an advantage. The Pullman goes away in this case, but I think that's okay. I get a free one back. If not everyone else buys one, that would be a shame too. But I want my money in there. So I got now about 500 bucks in that company. If things go really south, which could happen, I'm going to have to spend 250 or something to get an 8 train in that company, which means I'm going to have to sell shares. I mean, in the end, it's not that bad to say, okay, 250 for a permanent train. But the bad thing is that there is so much money left in here, right? And this is money that I basically cannot use because, this is simply wasted money. It sucks. For him, I mean, it really sucks for him. I thought, it just doesn't work out. Okay, so the Reichsbahn, they will now be able to buy a train for 600 bucks. That is the last 6 train then. And it's an interesting thing now. I mean, I got now 2 options. And I think what I want to do is... so I could swallow with these guys, because as we calculated, I probably have a chance to run that train once more. So if I swallow with them, I might make something like 200 bucks or something. The other option is simply to buy the train over and bring the 200 bucks in there in that way. I also fall back. It doesn't make really a difference. But maybe running and swallowing. Maybe I can... No. They're close to 700 in there. Maybe if I swallow half, maybe I can actually do it. That would be amazing. I wouldn't fall back that way. So that could be an option. The sad thing is I cannot afford a Pullman that way, but I can afford a Pullman here. So yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm kind of sitting on these 200 bucks there, which is a little bit of a shame, but I think there is no other way right now. So I'm going to buy a Pullman. And remember, you cannot trade Pullmans. So yeah, I cannot buy 2 or something. So yeah, that is a little bit of a waste here. And yeah, I think got to make a calculation here and it's not going to be enough. If I buy it over now, it's not going to be enough for a train and a Pullman. There are then 25 bucks missing, which is really a shame. So yeah. Now it worked out actually perfectly for the 2 yellow companies, because it seems they can now manage to each get a token in here and not the black one, not the Deutsche Reichsbahn. So it seems like it's not going that good for the player over there. So that means that the Belgians, they can now drop their last token here in Berlin. Okay, great. So I guess you want to have that. Of course, there's still a chance that you get cut off somewhere in between, but I think this is not that likely, especially in gray. The non-Y tokens or the non-Y cities then become triple cities. So therefore, it's really hard to block you out there. Okay, I'm running for 5. So, that's a little tricky. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Probably want to take Paris 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think that's better. It's not perfect now. I mean, in the end, I kind of want to skip that city by somehow running like this, probably. But I didn't want to build there. I want that token. I want to secure that token there. So therefore, I think I'm going to take this run now. So that's 7, 15, 20, 27. Okay. So let me see. I think I got to swallow half here. I think that's the best I can do. Just swallow half, you know, and slowly try to get to that 8 train. It's not going to go away. I might lose 1 or 2 runs, but I don't want to fall back. So I think swallowing half is a good choice here. So the Austrians they laid track here for 60 bucks, Pressburg. That was a mountain. And they did an extra town upgrade here with their company in Prague, and they laid a token in Prague. It's important if you want to go north and you're sitting only here, you don't want to cut off there. So you don't want to get cut off there. So Prague is a good token here. Now the cool thing is I have my permanent 2 train. So I can run that route with the 2 train, and then I can run that route with my 4 train. So I can hit Vienna twice, and that is pretty cool. So we're going to run for 12 here, and then another 10, so it's 22, 28, 29, 32. That is an amazingly good run. And you know, I think I want to pay out and then sell the shares, and I think then I'm good. I might have to, maybe I'm going to have to, I'm not going to be able to buy a train right now, and I probably might have to sell a train out of pocket, or buy a train out of pocket, but it's just going to be $100 or something. So I guess that's fine. I'm going to lose a run, which sucks, but I think this is still the best I have. I might consider buying a Pullman, but no, it's not going to work, because if I lose that train, I'm going to lose the Pullman too, I guess. So yeah, I paid out a lot of money, and now sadly I'm going to have to sell these shares, I guess. So these are 4 shares that go in the market. I get $400. And I'm going to need them because now I'm pretty sure someone else will be able to buy a train. I'm sitting here on 700, which is cool. It's a little bit of a shame, you know. It would be great to get a Pullman in there or something, but I don't think I can somehow figure that out. I got the 2 train, which is pretty good. So I guess that's good enough. Okay, great. So of course the share value dropped, but only 1 space, so it's not that bad. Okay, we go to the Prussians, and yeah, they can still run their 4 train. That's pretty amazing for them. So let's see what we can do here. Okay, so the Belgian player placed the last token over here. We've already seen that. Now what I did is, the Prussian player, because, I mean, he's in a very bad shape because of this company here, which is totally locked in. But he placed a token now here. And he said, hey, that was your last token. So if we both place a token here, you're in some trouble too. And yeah, that's correct, I guess. I mean, there are ways around it probably, but it's not a great thing. And he's got to figure out something here. The good thing is he has two companies under control, so and they all have access to this. So that if they do some tile placement, there will be a way around this city. But it's not cool anyways. Especially because he cannot take all these dots here that easily, and maybe, I don't know. You can't be too happy about that. Okay, so we laid a tile here. We have our 4 train. I cannot make the run here. I couldn't do it. I have to try to figure out something with my extra tile placements and all that crap, but it just doesn't work. I can't do it. So I'm not sure. Maybe I want to actually use that port over here and go 1, 2, 3. So the port is free, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4. That might be the best I have right now. I have a yellow tile for free. So I think I'm gonna, that's not so clear. Maybe I want to make my way to Hamburg somehow. And at some point, I'm not sure when that's going to happen, but at some point I might be able to kind of bring this into my route. So, okay, I think this is the best I have. It's 30, I don't know, it's 30, 60, 70, 80. Yeah, that's better. That's better than the 70 here. Yeah, of course it is. So we're gonna do that. So that is, yeah, 36, 7, 8, 11, 12, 13, 19. And another 50 over here or there. It doesn't matter. So it's 24. Okay, fine. Is that enough to get an 8 train with swallowing half? That's going to be very close. It seems like I'm $5 short. If I ran for 24 and if I swallow half, I get another 120. So I'm sitting, this is 675. So if I go, if I do 120, it's exactly $5 short. So there are now 2 options. Option number 1 is I could, instead of upgrading this one, preparing to go here, I could upgrade, for example, this one. And that would give me the $5 I'm going to need. The other option is to fully swallow and buy me, in addition to the 8 train, a Pullman. That's a big question now. It's I really have to think about it. That is not easy at all. First of all, well, yes, I could do that. The purchase of the 8 train would trash this one. I got a train limit increase anyway, so okay, that is not the issue. So I could get a Pullman there. I would drop in share value. So how bad is that at this specific point? I mean, the jumps here are not that important. How far will I go? Hard to tell. I don't know. I might, if I pay out, I might end up somewhere here, maybe about, might make a difference of $20, something like that. Okay, $20 per share. So how much is that? I own something like 60%, no, 50%. So that's $100 that I'm going to lose in share value. And I'm going to lose another 100 by not paying out half, another 50 something, because I get half of this revenue. So that means I would lose $150 right now if I swallow. but I could afford a Pullman. Okay, so now let's say the Pullman gives me about 70 bucks. I think if I make it to London, which I probably can, I get about 70 bucks extra each run with the Pullman. So yeah, after 2 runs. So I only get 50% of that. So I got to run the Pullman 4 times to get even. That's a tough call. Do I really want to do that or not? I don't know, man. I might also have a little less money. You know, I'm losing 50 bucks now that I might be able to invest in shares otherwise. I really don't feel that it's such a great idea. I don't think I want to have that Pullman necessarily. I don't think it's worth swallowing. No, I think I'm not going to do that. I'm going to roll a die. It's an aggressive player, so he is much on share value and all. So I think I'm going to, on a 1 to 5, I'm not going to buy that Pullman. And look at that, it's a 6. So we're going to go with the Pullman here. I think that was a mistake, to be honest. But okay, that's what happens when you roll dice from time to time. And I prefer that in solitaire gaming. So anyways, we can afford an 8 train now and a Pullman. And yeah, we'll see if that was worth it. So the 4 train is crashed, goes away. And we go into 8, so gray becomes available. And that's pretty much it. Okay, there we are. So, our French company, and yeah, what I was afraid of exactly happened. This guy is without a train. So, I mean, the 4s go away. So this one, that one, this one over here. There they go. Okay. And I mean, what I could do in theory is I could buy that train over here, issue all my shares, then buy the train back with that company, and then I'm okay, you know, but I would lose 2 runs. I would lose basically 3 runs, right? This one, that one, and that one again. I cannot afford it. That is ridiculous. So instead, I'm going to have to somehow buy a train out of pocket. It is a shame. It really sucks. I'm going to have to sell 2 or maybe even 3 shares. So let's see how much money we have. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's 400. 500. Okay, that's 500 bucks. And that's another 50. Okay. It's not that bad. So we got about, I mean, it's not great. We got close to 600. It's about, yeah, 570 or something like that. So it seems we have to sell 2 shares. Possibly that one. And yeah, probably one of those. Yeah, I guess that's what I'm... It really sucks. But, you know, it's not only that. I mean, I have the 8 train and I cannot even run that reasonably. Boy, that is... Maybe in the end it's even better to say, hey, fuck it, I'm going to buy that train over. And I have then the 8 train in here. And I buy it out of pocket from here. At least I got better odds to run it here than down here where I have, you know, I'm totally blocked. I cannot go further here. I mean, this is the company here, you know. I cannot go here. It's going to be very hard to break through here. Take 2 upgrades to do it, and then I can only get to here. I mean, and there are other people also involved that could token me out. So, I don't know, man. This is not looking good at all. This company is a total waste. Shit. Maybe I'm actually going to do that. I think I might actually buy the train over to here. That means I cannot do the emergency financing. I'm not sure how much I had here. It doesn't make a difference. I'm going to have to do it next OR. So I'm going to leave $1 in here, basically throw the money over here. It was something like that. And yeah, then I'm going to do the emergency financing for this company. I think I want the 8 train in here. Yeah, I'm fucked anyway. I mean, I'm in a very, very bad position with these guys. And it's interesting that basically both of the only guy who does well with 2 companies is him. And it seems that these guys are doing pretty poorly. Okay. But I think this is still the best addition. I will lose another run, but hey, why do I want an 8 train in here? It's totally pointless. And yeah. I could sell a couple of, well, I get the free Pullman here anyways. Oh boy. So do I want to sell these shares? I don't think so. Okay, anyways, I'm going to get a Pullman in here because now I have a train again and I got that free Pullman here. But yeah, that's not cool at all. And so it seems like we got to fall back here again. Oh boy. That's not looking good. But I can still do a tile action here. So I think what I want to do is I want to make an upgrade here so that I can somehow maybe hook up with these guys. It will take me a while, but everything else seems even worse. I don't know. I mean, maybe if I try to lay a tile, I got a bunch of tokens. So I want to lay a token here in Paris, I guess. I mean, that can't be so bad. I might consider upgrading this and then maybe in a later turn trying to get access over here, but oh boy. No, I don't think I want to do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe as a long-term plan, I could try to get a route from Rome to Paris, which isn't great, but yeah. Maybe it's the best I have for now. The problem is there are mountains here, Nice, $60. I could leave some money in here to do that, but that means I'm going to have to pay even more for the emergency financing. Wow, that looks all really grim. Okay, you know, I think I'm going to make an upgrade here instead, hoping, although I really doubt it, hoping that nobody jumps in there and blocks it for me. But yeah, I'm very much afraid that this possibly might happen. So I don't know, let's do something like this, I guess. Oh, that won't work. You know, actually, I think this upgrade is total garbage. I mean, the Bavarians could jump in, maybe even the Prussians if the Bavarians make an upgrade here or something. This is totally ridiculous. I never get that spot. So you know what I'm going to do is I'm simply going to issue a couple of shares here, and then I got the money to at least bust through here somehow at some point, and I'm going to make an upgrade here at Marseille. So that there is at least a little bit of perspective here. It's bad enough already. Maybe I only sell a single share. I don't really see a reason why I should sell more. So this will drop, and we get $75 out of this. Okay, sweet. Not good. But yeah, I mean, I'm out of the game at that point anyways, so at least here I can keep on playing a little bit and don't get stuck here. This is ridiculous. Here's what I do. Although I'm not sure. I thought about what I could do with the Bavarians is I could make a connection here, and then I could place a token in Berlin. So it's really tempting to do that, to be honest. I think that would be pretty awesome. Maybe I should do that. I could also bust through here and place a token in Vienna, which is also a pretty good option. Maybe to some extent more interesting right now. Hard to tell. Okay, actually, I think I want to do that. There are a couple of reasons. First of all, I don't have to pay for the mountains here, and I can let someone else do that. And second, I can make a run from Warsaw to London with my 5 train, and I can skip this. So that is pretty cool, I think. Just let me see what we want. Does it matter? That might be even better. Let's do something like this. Yep. Okay, cool. And now I'm going to lay that one of my tokens up here, because now I have that straight connection here. And that's definitely not what these two guys expected. But okay, so, and now I can make that run. 1, 2, 3, 4, skip this and go to London. And now we see something special that we haven't seen until now, because nobody did these off-board runs until now. This is actually the first run. So if you have a run from an off-board area to another off-board area, except for Hamburg, then for every token that you hit, in this case it's only 1, you get an additional value depending on the phase you're in. So in this case we are in phase 8, that means I get an additional $30 for this city. And that's great. So we run for 300, and I'm going to pay out 30 per share. So that is 150 for the player, and it's 150 for the company, because there's still 50% in there. So they're close to $300 in there. And I think if we do that again, and then sell the shares, then even the share value will not drop. I think that then we might be able to get an 8 train in there. So these two companies will get an 8 train clearly later in there than some others. But, you know, they don't have to swallow. They are in a good position. They pay out. I don't know if it's such a great idea, but I think in the end, it's possibly better than swallowing. It's hard to tell, but I guess it is still a good idea. So again, this was just the first of the 2 ORs, but I think it's time to load this up now. Always in the middle of the set, it's a weird pattern that emerged here, but yeah, there's still I mean, the game is now kind of in its final stage, but I think it will still continue for a while. There's a lot of money in the bank pool, and this company needs a train. This company needs a train. So it's and there will be a couple of trains purchased. This one, these two will also. So there's going to be a lot of money in the bank pool, and I mean, in the end, it's probably going to be between these two players here. They are doing really good. They're controlling very, very good companies. This guy only won. So in the end, maybe the extra share that they can have could be an important aspect. However, he is already pretty much ahead in shares. So actually, I think I didn't pay him out. I think I didn't pay him out with the Prussian and also not with the Belgian. Damn, I have to correct that. But I will. Okay, so hope to see you on the next video or on lonesomegamer.com. Bye. Okay, so 2 more things. First of all, I didn't miss that. These guys swallowed, and I remember I paid him out for the Belgium. But here, I made another decision, actually. It was the last company that operated. I'm going to sell all these shares. There's a lot of money in there now. There are 200, they're close to 280 bucks are in there. So if I'm going to sell that stuff, it brings about 400 bucks in the company. That means we're close to 700. And if I then do another half swallow, I'll be able to buy an 8 train. So yeah, otherwise I would basically lose a turn, because yeah, exactly, that's what that's a fact. So I'm gonna sell all these guys, and the share value drops by 1, but that's not so horrible. I mean, it's 7 bucks. Of course, in the end, it's a little more, but that's okay right now. I lose 1, okay. And I'm gonna get 408, and that is a ton of money. And as I said, if I swallow half again in the next turn with these guys, I'm gonna sit on a an 8 train, and first in priority I can immediately buy another share of those. So it's just great. I think that's clearly what I want to do. Okay, so see you there.